dude. It's ugly boy dude. It's ugly boy dude. It's ugly boy dude. It's ugly boy beats.
Such a pleasure to be here again with you, Tierney. We meet off camera multiple times. We talk about different things we want to do. So without further ado, I just want you to introduce yourself.
Okay. What's up, everybody? I am Tierney Make It, also known as Tierney Janae, Tierney Make It Anderson, T-Raw, all of that, and that's just me.
You have so many nicknames.
Yeah.
Where do these nicknames come from?
T-Raw, that's my favorite. It was inspired by my freshman big brother. He was a senior and I was a freshman in high school. So he just was like, I'm raw. So he was like, your energy and my personality was really raw. So that's why he kept calling me T-Raw. And that's where it stemmed from.
Okay. A lot of people know we're here at Tuskegee University, right?
Right.
So right now, what is your classification?
Currently, I'm a freshman communications and marketing major.
Okay. So, wow. Okay. So with communications, what do you plan to do with that?
To be completely transparent, it's really just a placeholder for in life for me to be able to have the degree. That way I can manipulate my way to getting the jobs that I want when it comes to education reform. So my end goal by 25, I'll either be a dean at a prestigious university or a part of a school board for a public school system.
Okay,
So
nice.
let's go.
So, favorite nickname is T-Raw. Where are you from?
I'm from the home of the blues and Honey Gold Wings, Memphis, Tennessee.
Off camera, y'all, she was saying how Memphis had the best wings.
Best wings.
Y'all make sure y'all tell her who has the best wings in the comment section.
Memphis. Let's not. Let's. Next question, because you're going to make me mad.
Okay. So we was talking about Memphis. You was like, you love the food, obviously. You love the music. I heard nothing but good things about Memphis, Tennessee, so I have nothing to complain about there. Right now, what are you involved in at Tuskegee?
Tuskegee University. I've been blessed with different opportunities because of my work as a poet and like a hostess. So that's cool. I'm a member of the NAACP. I'm also a part of the ULA. I'm interested in like student government association, but I've really been taking the time to see which role is best for me. So I can't wait to get involved in that. Those are just a few to name. I like the name. Oh, and street team. I named those three because those are like the ones that define me the most, basically. But anything that I'm involved in, I make sure it's something I'm genuinely passionate about, not necessarily something for a resume. I think that's, yeah, something to put out.
Yeah, that's awesome because a lot of people think that, I gotta be in this position for a good job or to give me a better chance or a leg up. But the people that's looking out, man, I don't make a dime off these YouTube videos. We almost got 300 up. So that's just something for you to go ahead and aspire to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
You got to believe in what you're doing, only because if you don't believe in it, people will feel that fakeness almost on you.
Definitely. It's all about, I definitely try to make sure that I'm pushing to be genuine, because it's no secret that I don't want to put already what my end goal is, but when you see me and when it's time for that time to come, you should already be like, yeah, that's her for real, because she's actually about that, you know? It should never come off as fake, because you can see through all the people that just want to do it for the pictures. You just see through it. And me, man, that's me living life. Look,
yeah.
This is how I operate. Like, I'm always trying to do stuff. Like,
exactly. Like you just hitting nails on the head. Like for myself, I'm a Mason, right? So in the Mason society, they ask you when you go and apply, you got to apply and all this stuff. Why you want to do this or why you want to do that? What do you provide, right? But if you have already been doing stuff throughout your lifetime, it wouldn't be hard, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, most definitely. I'm definitely grateful to meet you. So now that you're here at Tuskegee, you was talking about things that you were doing that you're genuinely interested in. What are some of those things that you're genuinely interested in?
Redefining the Tuskegee experience overall, because my great-grandfather graduated here in class 1952. He actually stayed in the same dorm as me back when it was the male's dorm. So that's actually, like, I just feel a connection here, and the potential of Tuskegee is so much, and it needs the new generation to put its touch on it. Because one thing about me, like, you know, yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. Things I'm involved in. Black history. I have learned a lot about, like, in high school, different curriculums, they touch on slavery, civil rights today. post-Reconstruction, the era of excellence, how HBCUs are so important and everything. Attending this school, I have learned a lot about the time, like Black people, what happened to Black people between the 1900s to 1950. Like that 50-year span, very important era that we don't highlight enough. So definitely want to.
Awesome, man.
That.
I see that you're very involved in your education, right?
Right.
And not just school education. You step outside of that and learn your history as well.
Right.
I definitely applaud you on that, because a lot of people don't actually take the time to read Up for Slavery.
Mm-hmm.
I read the book.
I love that book. And I tell people all the time, because in orientation, you know, amongst my peers, everyone's like, not you read the book. I'm like, yo, Booker T. Washington was really cool. Like, I mean, well, yeah, well, he was that guy at the time. Like, people don't understand, for him being a slave, for a white man to call him down to come basically build the school up, in a sense. I think we all should channel our inner Booker T. Washington. That way we can make the reforms to the school. Yeah. And
also not only the school, the city, right? Because a lot of us, we have these gripes on, it might be medical care, right? It might be things to do, but in actuality, the school got permission from the city to even exist.
Exactly.
And so we said, okay, we would never turn our back on the city of Tuskegee.
But
hey, so the people that's in administration, man, hopefully y'all doing what y'all got to do, because Booker T. Washington did entrust us to carry on his legacy.
And I think it'll take students and individuals, like, not to be braggadocious, but it'll take people like me, like, to bring in other students like me. That way they can get involved, so we can get back into the city. Because literally the reason most of the problems that people describe about Tuskegee, the university is fine. To be honest, they communicate very well. We don't have half of the problems that these other schools have. The things that we missed out on is problems within the city, like the lack of resources, like a Walmart or a hospital and cases like that. It's because no one lives here. We can't get a Chick-fil-A because who's gonna work at the Chick-fil-A? It should just rely all on the students. But that's a conversation for another day.
Oh man, Lord knows I'm gonna let you talk, because you definitely got something to say. So we was talking a little bit. I wanted to know, how did you even get to Tuskegee? Like, what is your path? Are you on scholarship, or does your parents pay for it? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. I was blessed with a university merit scholarship that covers my full tuition, and I think I get $800 on books, so $400 per year. And how I got it, basically, I sold myself to the school. Like, when it was time, like when I first initially applied, I just turned in my essay. I did it the no test scores route, because unfortunately, that's why this is a problem with the public education system. The standardized tests, like, I'm very intelligent, but I'm a horrible test taker. So I achieved a 17 on the ACT, and on SAT, I think I got 1100. Those were, like, ACT score was bad. The SAT score was fair. But, so basically I told the admissions, I was like, I would receive full rides from 5 different other schools that's higher than us. Like, y'all have to make something. I need at the minimum at least, because I think they gave me 800 at first. I said, me? I'm like, I feel like you could be braggadocious or stuff like that. I'm like, all these other schools, like, me? Tierney? Like, T-Rail? Me? Yeah, but it's like, basically I told them, was like, I have a nonprofit, I have 2 books, like leadership position, I have a plethora of community service hours. Look at my recommendations. I didn't introduce for mayors. I have worked with city council. Like, I know, like, that girl, like, don't do that. Like, look, come on, let's get the money. So let's get the bills. They did that, and they accommodated me with the scholarship that I needed. And basically for my housing, I was a part of the Army ROTC program, but for personal matters and everything, redefining my goals, I was like, I'm gonna do it a different route if I plan to go back military-wise. The military is definitely beneficial, but for where I was, all the stuff that I was doing at Tuskegee, it was actually. So I was blessed with the University Merit Scholarship, basically because, you know, there's no secret that the public education system has its challenges. And where I'm from, I'm not gonna say I wasn't, basically I'm a bad test taker. I got a 17 on the ACT and 1100 on the SAT. And But other schools recognize like my resume, all of my accolades that I accomplished so far, like working with the government in Memphis, like the city council there, and even publishing books and running a nonprofit while being in school, my AP scores and everything. They were like, she deserves more. So that's basically why I told Tuskegee and my friend told them, look, Tuskegee deserves that girl. Like, I might not be that girl all the way, but I think I'm that girl. So they gave me that scholarship. So they got a little faith.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's like, people need to hear stories like that, because if you do know, if there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. And that's why I would say, why not ask? Like, you could send, basically what I did when they sent me my first scholarship form, I took it and I was like, wrote a negotiation essay. Basically, it explained more about myself and who I was, more behind the application, and said I'll even set up a Zoom call if you want to do an interview process, because I need more money. Like, school is expensive. My parents can't pay for it. I was getting involved with the National Guard, but that's conversation for a different day. But yeah, I sent that in, and because the worst they can say is no. And one thing about these schools, they have the money. Like, admissions has a set budget. And at the time that I received the scholarship, now these are some gems. So for any TU 26, 2027, think about all the folks that's just trying to get universities to put on their post that they got into and get money. Imagine if the school gives them 10 kids $10,000, but all of them not going. They got $100,000 worth of scholarship left over. They already gave you $10,000. You need $15,000 more. They have the money. All you have to do is ask, and ask at the right time, because the money will run out. So just think like an admissions recruiter.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you hit on a lot of different topics that I think people really needed to hear. So just moving forward, you did mention that you was a grandfather.
My great-grandfather.
And it was 1952.
1952.
Wow. So y'all in the same dorm. How was the dorm life for you?
I love my dorm because it's barely no one there. I know, like, some of the biggest dorms for the females on campus is like Harvey or Douglas. You couldn't pay me to stay in those. It's too many people. I need to be able to know everywhere where everyone stays, who's friends with who, and stuff like that for safety precautions, and also because, like, that's my living space, my sanctuary. I need, like, peace and stuff. Emory 4, the cleanest and the quietest. Like, we have a communal bathroom, but there's never anyone in there. I have my own room, no problem. The only thing I hate is the bathroom at the end of the hall. So, you know, when you got to run and pee, you run down the hallway. But that's a conversation for a different day. I love my dorm.
Awesome. You also mentioned that you written 2 books. Okay, so can you give me a brief description, well, the name of both books and a brief description of both books?
In My Feelings or Whatever was basically about a poem. Like, it was my first real heartbreak. So, you know, I was in my Taylor Swift mode. I said, I'm finna make some money off of this. So I wrote down all my poems and, you know, used my creative mind, you know, little different metaphors and stuff. Wrote poem, that's that. So one of my favorite poems out of that one would have to be, I think, Tasty. Cause Tasty, that's a good poem. Like, basically, I hate candy, but with that relationship, he always made me try to do new things. Like, and I remember him loving Swedish Fish. Like, if you're watching this, sorry, hey gang, no, we should catch up. I'm just kidding. But yeah, like, I'm talking the relationship. It was so, we were children. It wasn't nothing for real, but it was like, it was my first, you know, first love for real. That's what it means. I hate saying that title now. But that was my favorite piece from there. So it's basically a poem about being heartbroken, out of my feelings and whatever. Out of my feelings, like, I'm that girl now. That was me, like, learning and growing. But I did dabble a little bit, like, and it's kind of, I tried to make it like a response thing so that everything would model with each other. So, like, in one poem in my first book, What I Almost Did, I talked about macaroni in the second one. So, you know, then, yeah, okay. That's a conversation for a different day.
Awesome. You're going to have me saying that's a conversation for a different day after this.
That's a conversation for a different day.
Okay, so core values.
Education is key. You have to educate yourself. It's a difference between school and going to learn. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but education is key. knowledge is power. That's the only way you're going to be successful, truly successful in the world. I think being successful is subjective in a matter, but being able to take care of yourself, when you know better, you do something better. That's something my mom always told me. If I know going to college is going to put me in a better predicament than working at a warehouse. Well, no offense to anybody that does that, but like, I know with the education that I had growing up and the standards that I've growing up, education, like getting a higher level of education is just better and bigger opportunities. You definitely can make it away out of college. You could definitely make it away out of high school. But someone like me, I enjoy school. I enjoy learning. Why not? College has been the best. I've been looking forward to college since I was 6 years old. And no complaints.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I wish the CAF say open to 10. That's a good, somebody should do that.
Made the CAF open till 10?
Yes.
I'm going to go talk. Hey, y'all, make sure the CAF is open until 10.
Yeah. Got that? I'm just playing.
All right, so next we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being here at Tuskegee. I just want, you ain't got to go crazy, but maybe just one thing that stuck out that's a pro and maybe one thing that stuck out as a con.
I'm going to do the cons first.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's not a bad thing. It's about learning because we are a new generation. The old Tuskegee that everyone refers to has a lot of toxicity embedded in like the traditions that they do. So I'm gonna leave it at that interpretation. If you get what I'm, the girls that get it, and the girls that don't, there's a toxic, and certain individuals forget what it's like to be at the bottom in a sense. And that's common when you get into leadership, and that's for staff, students, whatever. When you get into that phase, and that's why I tell my friends, regardless how far I go, humble me. Because behind that title, you're still a person. You're just like all of us. So that toxic mentality that's kind of here, I think it's kind of the toxic environment's fading though. Hey, it's fading. But that's something that I did notice here that I kind of didn't like about the school. But then I realized it's worse at other schools, definitely. And I think it's just seen everywhere. So I think it just needs to be more humbling spirits needed, if that makes sense. But don't shoot me because I know y'all like to, ooh, yeah.
Hey, alumni, y'all heard him. All right, so.
I said what I said. Don't
moving
shoot me.
on. All right, so how's your sleep schedule?
Sleep. Actually, I think I get rest. I get my rest because that's vital. I need to go to sleep. But I think I get a fair amount of rest. But it's not enough time in the day, honestly. It's not enough time for the day. But yeah.
Okay. So what do you do to relax? Like, okay, you sleep, you rest, okay, a little bit. How do you relax? How do you unwind here at Tuskegee?
Just hang out with friends. We do a little dumb stuff for recreation, but most college students would know what I'm referring to. We just hang out. Okay,
we gonna keep it like that.
Just hang.
All right, so I only got about a couple more questions left, right?
Look, protect the brand.
Gotta protect the brand. Gotta do that. All right, so second to last question would be, what advice do you always keep in your heart? Like you will never forget. What advice would that be?
Probably stemming from never forget where you came from. I'm just big on, since I'm probably big on all inclusive, this can go to my core values, like including everyone and everything. I feel like never forget where you came from. Hey y'all. Yeah, never forget where you came from. That's just because you can accomplish a lot, but it easily can be taken away. So don't forget that.
Okay. And then for one advice that you would make sure you will tell somebody who's not in your position. Let's just say somebody who's in high school, they might be in 9th grade, 10th grade right now, and they're thinking like, okay, what would you say to them?
Actually, shout out to Madam President Lauren Johnson, because she gave me this advice the other day, and I feel like I always knew it, but actually hearing and seeing it, a delayed no. I mean, no, a no is nothing but a delayed yes. That speaks so much volume, because it seems like a lot of, like, people say I do a lot, but really, I just be chilling. It's just, that's stuff that I've been doing. It's stuff that I do as Tierney making. A lot of stuff that I applied to do and tried to do at Tuskegee been denied for the most part. It's no secret, but it seems like with every deny that I get is something rejection. It's something bigger there. So don't get discouraged. If I would have stopped, like, I think I didn't get into this. I didn't get into this STEM program for the summer in 9th grade, and I think because it was gonna be like my first time, like. I think it was a program for 2 weeks in Orlando, Florida. We were gonna go to the SeaWorld. It looked so fun, but mind you, I didn't even want to be an engineer. So really, I was gonna take up space from somebody who actually needed it anyway. But that really hurt me because that was my first time not getting something that I wanted. So I'm like, me? But then that summer, I think I worked somewhere and it was great. So I didn't forget SeaWorld. Like, yeah. But that's it. So don't get too hung up on rejections because you're going to face a lot of rejections, but you're also going to get a lot of blessings and a lot of opportunities. So, yeah. Nice.
And that's another thing, too, before we go. First off, I want to shout out our president right now, Lauren Johnson. She's a fantastic person.
Love Mojo.
Yeah, definitely a good friend to everybody that she meets. And people that don't like her, something wrong with you.
And that's one thing I will say, last thing, when it comes to Tuskegee, the family environment here, top tier. Because even folks that you think you would never been cool with, or even folks that don't like you, because there's gonna be people that don't like you, they still they're gonna respect you because you're a Tuskegee student. I don't know, because I can tell you personally, like I don't have no one particularly I don't like, but it's been issues because we're not kids for real, but you could tell a lot of people not raised the same, but you're gonna give people like that benefit of the doubt, or you still gonna love on them because we a family. Like we're a family here. That's one thing this school has that no one else had. We're close. Like it's been times I'm walking down the street, Tierney, need a ride? I don't know you, but yeah, come here. Drop me off at the bio. I don't feel like walking. Like it's hot. But yeah, so don't get too hung up on beef and BS like that, because it doesn't. We're too grown for that.
Exactly. You also hit the nail on the head, man. You just give so many jewels.
Gems. I love saying gems.
So many gems to people that's listening. You was talking about how your grind could affect your own potential. Like you're limiting yourself if you don't have that grind, right? It's like you went up there and got it. Even if it was a denied yes, you still put your name in the hat.
Exactly, because they're gonna remember you. And I guarantee that's why I don't get too tripping when I don't get into something and be like, you know what, I bet they still know that application, and they're gonna speak when I walk by.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Okay, before we close out, Tierney, and you'll have the last word, I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you. And without further ado, just your closing comments for the crowd.
Well, I'm not anybody, but if you felt inspired or led by or motivated by anything that I said, thank you. And if you decide to come to Tuskegee, or if you're on Tuskegee, you need a friend, I'm that girl. Like, come talk to me. Like, I love enjoying people and stuff like that. And I think I give decent advice. And that's really, I don't know what to say. Thank you so much for the opportunities for me to speak.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'll catch you next time, Tierney.
Yeah, next time, y'all.